Hey East Point, thanks for joining in this morning on the last Sunday of the year. We have kind of a special online service for you this morning with myself and Rachel. And this is awesome because we get to kind of do a year in review. If you were actually at service this last Sunday, I talked about how God you can see God working best in the rear view mirror. And so this is our chance to look back at 2025 and just talk about and share a lot of different ways that we saw God working through you, through the church, through East Point this year. And so to start, Rach, if you don't mind, let's kind of just jump in. I'm curious for you, and we didn't prepare any of this advance. We've got some stuff from the church that we want to share, but where in your own life did you feel like you saw growth this year?
Well, if you can't tell, I saw literal growth in my belly because
Cookies?
it was a lot of cookies this year. No, but we're having a baby in February, and that's really exciting.
Nice.
And but on a personal level, I think the area of growth that I've seen the most is actually in my prayer life. Starting at the beginning of the year, I really felt a focus on prayer, and it's just built throughout the year for me.
Yeah, we actually, and we wouldn't expect the church to know this, but as a staff, we went through a course at the beginning of the year. You led us through it called Practicing the Way. And I know for me that really stretched me and challenged me. And prayer life, for one, is one of the areas that pushed me the most because I have a tendency to just rely on my own strength, my own ability, kind of white knuckle say, God, I got this.
Right.
And just really just saying, okay, I'm going to give this to God. So for me, I'd say that was a big area of growth as well.
Yeah. And I know you loved the Practicing the Way material because it was so stretching for you. But that's a book that we read this year.
Yeah.
But what was your favorite book?
Favorite book of the year? I actually just finished one. It's a book I reread. I think I'd only read a few chapters. I'm notorious for picking up a book and reading 3 chapters, setting it down, and never picking it up again. But the book, I just finished it a couple weeks ago, and it was called A Contrarian's Guide to Knowing God. And it's written by a pastor in San Diego, Larry Osborne. It was phenomenal. And I recommend, if you're looking for a book to read in 2026, pick this book up because I think it's just really, really helpful.
My favorite book this year was The Familiar Stranger. It was a book on the Holy Spirit by Tyler Staton. Yeah. He's the pastor at Bridgetown Church in Portland, and I'm a big fan of his writing right now, and it really sparked something within me, especially along the lines of prayer.
Yeah. What about for your family, anything new or big happen in 2025? Besides, obviously you're having a baby. That's a big deal. But any new hobbies that you guys picked up this year?
New hobbies? I don't think so. I think it's the same. I read a lot, and Sheldon plays with dragons. So
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons.
That's fun.
What about for you?
Well, my family, we grew this year, not through birth, but through marriage, and got married what will be almost 5 months ago. And so our family grew, a blended family. So now there is Jamie and I, and together we have 5 kids, and so that's really exciting. We moved in together, and kind of just it's fun. It's different, and but it's a fun season to be entering into, especially with all the changes around the church too. To feel like my family is settled. I'm just excited about what's next for all of us.
Yeah.
So, well, for the church as a whole, as we think back this last year, we had some incredible, I think, moments, things that come to our minds. And so some of this might feel like a reminder to you guys of, oh, this happened. So maybe you missed this, but we're kind of going to fill you in. And there's some numbers and some things that we measure that we also want to share. So some of the numbers that we measure is even attendance. We every week there's someone in the back, you might not know it, but they're counting each person that's there. And so just this last, really this fall, but October, November, and then December, we've seen some of our highest attendance months than we have in the last few years. And again, if you've been around East Point for a while, we've had some lean years. We went through some hard things, and we just said, let's hunker down, let's get healthy, let's build a strong foundation based on Jesus, and let's see where God takes us. And so to see these numbers increase and have to add chairs to the auditorium and what, it's been awesome to see some of our highest attendance numbers.
Yeah. And it's a lot of new families too. We're adding new people to the church, and that's really exciting.
Yeah, one of my favorite things is a first-time guest that turns into a second-time guest, right?
Yeah.
When they come back. I love it. So.
And one of my favorite things is a second-time guest who takes the next step to go even further. So like taking the step of becoming a new believer, taking the new believer boxes that we have, steps of baptism.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen that? Have you ever seen someone in the lobby, and don't make it weird in the future when you do, but when someone takes a new believer box from the auditorium and they walk to the lobby and I see them, that's like one of my favorite feelings, or like to know, like, yes, like we got to put a Bible in somebody's hand that's taking a step of faith to follow Jesus. Just this last week, I saw somebody, because I saw them, they set it down. I'm like, I hope they don't forget it, you know. And but I love seeing people take that step and knowing that they're choosing to follow Jesus. Because we say it all the time, but we truly hope and pray that every week we are that safe place for people to find and follow Jesus. And so much of that's like because of you as a church. Like, you help us create those environments. You serve in the dream team, make great environments, but also you're just so friendly and welcoming to the people around you. So they take, they can take boxes, we count those. We also count people who take the step to get baptized. And so this last year we had a few days where we baptized people. And anyone like...
Yeah. I mean, we had 20 people take new believer boxes this year, which is huge. And then we had 19 people get baptized.
That's awesome.
Year.
That's awesome.
And a lot of them were students.
Yeah.
Which
teenagers that are making... I actually was out at summer camp for one of the days, and the leaders came to me and said, hey, some of the students want to get baptized. I'm like, that's awesome. Let's do it when we get back to East Point. And
all of that happens because, like Tony said, you help us create that environment and space, and it's through generosity, really, too. Your giving of your time, your energy, and your finances. And I love that we are a generous church.
Absolutely. A lot of people say, like, hey, when I give, what does it actually go to? Like, you question that. And that's true of like any organization or nonprofit that you might give to. People regularly like wonder, like, what difference does it make? And that's it. I mean, so much of it, like helping us follow Jesus for the long haul, and not just like keeping the lights on the building and running services, because that's helpful for all of us. But it's what gets me most excited is people taking those initial steps of faith, saying, I want to follow Jesus, and then seeing them get connected, seeing them get baptized, seeing them worship, seeing them get into a group for the first time, and seeing those things. And that's really like because of your generosity, we get to hold services where people get to take steps to knowing God and following Him. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Another thing that we measure throughout the year is just the different ways that we're having an impact here, near, and far, like in our community. What are the things we're doing to invest and serve in different ways? And I'll tell you what, beyond just serving in our building, we've done a number of things this year that's been making a difference. And so often, again, because of your generosity, we get to do these things. We get to take a portion of what comes in to East Point and say, how can we make a difference? And so some of the ministries that we've been able to help, whether we've served at or we've given a monetary donation to, what are some of those that you can help?
So helping captives. And
Caleb, he came, he spoke and shared the vision. They bought the Deja Vu, the old Deja Vu, and they're turning it into the Freedom Center to help people out of human trafficking.
Redeeming that space. We also helped Life Services in a number of ways. The Baby Bottle campaign. We also sent some people to serve there during Rooted.
I think you guys gave over $3,000 through that Baby Bottle campaign to Life Services.
And there were a number of places that we served, like UGM, the Women's and Children's Shelter. Family Promise was working with a lot of kids. Safety Net, which I had never heard of, but it's actually for foster kids who are aging out of foster care to help provide things that they might need as they get their first apartment and
that's cool.
For their home. And then we also helped Millwood Impact, Generation Alive.
Millwood Impact was the community garden that's over there. I was talking to the guy who leads that, and he was telling me how big of a deal that was that we came and helped. And then Generation Alive, which is, I think they're activating youth to lead with compassion and whatnot. And so I know we were able to make a donation to them and what they're doing in our community. One of the things we do a lot, obviously, is around Sundays is different teaching series. Now, I'm a little partial to this. I think they're great. But we are intentional to kind of a variety of series and focus on a number of different things throughout the year. And I wish we had a chance to like ask you and get your feedback, and maybe you want to leave it in the comments. Let us know what your favorite series was, or your favorite thing that you remember from one of the teaching moments. But what for you, like, what were some of the series that stand out to you, and why, or what was your favorite?
One of my favorite teaching series this year was the You Asked For It series that we did right after Easter.
Oh yeah.
Because
when we polled you guys.
We
We surveyed them.
And so we literally addressing questions that our church had about faith in God and Jesus and following. And I mean, the talk I did for that one was Can Christians Do Yoga? And I just liked that it was a very real series.
What was your answer?
My answer was yes.
They can.
Yeah, you can do yoga.
You want to demonstrate?
Nope.
No? Okay. No, I do, and I love that we're a church that it's okay to have questions. It's okay to even have doubt. Sometimes I think in religious settings, it's like you have to know it all, or at least pretend like you do. Mm-hmm. And I just want always there to be a freedom to say, hey, the Bible said that, and I've got a question. And it's okay to bring your questions. People brought questions to Jesus. Jesus asked great questions, and so I think that's a big part of actually how we grow. We lean in with curiosity, and we seek answers, and we grow in our faith, and I think it's just really, really helpful. One of my favorite series that we did was, and you might remember this, it was called Is That in the Bible? And it was looking at the Chosen the Chosen TV series that's been made, and using clips from that, and we kind of just jumped into what Jesus taught and looked at where that's at in the Bible, and we learned from it. Really, the Chosen clips brought it to life. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I liked best about that series is the conversations I got to have in the lobby with so many people about, oh, this series has been so good. We started watching The Chosen at home. If you've never seen The Chosen, I would encourage you, go start watching it, because what it does is it takes these Bible stories about Jesus, his life, his teachings, and it really, it brings them to life. Yeah. And maybe you're not I don't learn very well by reading. I like to see it. You get to see it, and it takes some creative liberty to help illuminate the things that Jesus did and taught in a way that's wow, that's really cool that Jesus is like that, was like that, and is still like that today. And so I'm a big fan of that series that we did.
I loved that too. I heard from a lot of families that they would watch it with their kids, and it really helped spark something new in their kids too, in their faith, to be able to see. Like you said, it was brought to life for them, and just sparked something within the family. Yeah.
So if there was a series that we did that you could because we're online right now, you're on the YouTube page, if you could say, go back and watch this series, this series is important to us, mm-hmm. What series for you do you think that would be?
I think it's one of the most recent ones that we've done, At the Core, and this is where we really just looked at what it means, or what is at the core of who we are as East Point, who we are as followers of Jesus, and what's at the core of Christianity. Yeah. And I think it's just so important for that to be constantly in front of us, as a reminder, and so we don't drift.
Yeah.
That's who we are as a church.
Yeah, absolutely. Because even that, what you just said, I like that word drift, because we have a tendency, if we're not intentional, to drift away from our mission over time. Mm-hmm. And this next year, 2026, is going to be huge for us, because we are in the middle of this relaunch where we're going to reintroduce ourselves to our community, not as East Point, but as Imagine Church. And if you're not familiar with that story and how this has all come about, I would love for you to reach out, because I'd love to share that story with you. We'd love to see you join the launch team, all these different things of ways you can get involved. But we have to be intentional not to drift away from what's central to us, mm-hmm. what's at the core to us. And even though we're changing names, and it's more than just a name change, but even though we're making some changes to do this, we're keeping true to who we are. We're keeping true at what's at the core of who we are as a church, of who we've been and who we're going to continue to be. Mm-hmm. And so that is a great series for you to go and check out those weeks here on the YouTube. Okay, so with the relaunch though, I want to share a little bit of some of where we're at with that and how you can take the steps to get involved. But we're really excited about what's next. We've been building a launch team. We were asking people to sign up. If you've signed up for the launch team, I need to pause for a second because I have something in my eye. We're not going to cut this. It's just going to. I was trying to just power through this. Okay. Hi. Okay. All right. Come back to the launch team.
Okay.
We've been building the launch team stuff, and it's our goal to build a 200-person launch team that would include you and your whole family. Mm-hmm. And we did a big night called State of the Church back in October that really just kick-started this journey with us. Even before that, we did these vision nights during the summer. Yep. Those were awesome, where we just got to share a meal and hear from the dream team about what they've loved about the past, what they see God doing in the now, and where they see God taking us in the future. And we cast this vision of Imagine Church. Right. And so building a 200-person launch team. Do you know where we're at right now?
Yeah, we have 161 launch team
That's awesome.
members, so we're getting close to that goal of 200.
And if you haven't said yes yet to being part of that launch team, you can still fill out the cards that are in your programs on Sundays here. They'll be there in the new year. Stop by the Imagine Church booth in the lobby. You get a free t-shirt for being part of the team, so at minimum, get some merch. But we'd love for you to be part of that and help make a difference. In the new year, we're going to start communicating a lot with that launch team about how to be involved, what steps to take, and how we're all going to make a difference to make this launch happen in March as we reintroduce ourselves as Imagine Church.
Yeah. So what is, I guess one of the big goals as we head into relaunch, like what do we need to make this happen?
Yeah, we're walking through a number of details. I won't bore you on the behind the scenes stuff. We're talking about our building and with our lease and different things and what kind of type of things we can do to update the building and the frontage, give us better curb appeal, better visibility to the street. But a big part of all of that is we're raising some money in addition to our normal budget for East Point. We're raising $100,000 to help launch Imagine Church. And so from the very get-go, we let people know, hey, this is going to cost us something to be able to invest in our community in this way. Mm-hmm. And so our goal, again, is $100,000. And because of what people gave right at the beginning, and because of pledges, and then we did the gift in November. And so right now, out of that $100,000, I don't want to get this number wrong, so I've got it here. We're at $72,354.86, which is awesome. I wish I could
incredible.
I wish I could clap. I don't want it to.
One.
That's awkward. One clap. Here we go. Let's do it. One. Boom. Okay. $72,000 over that. So that means we're essentially 70% of the way there towards our goal that we're going to intentionally use to again let our community know we're here. We're updating some kids' spaces, going to paint some walls. Those have been, you've been on staff for 11 years, and it's the same walls
now. It has not been updated.
So, and it's not that it's super bad. It's just it needs an update. It needs a facelift. We want to have kids environments that your kids and your friends' kids love to come back to week after week after week, mm-hmm. and we want to evoke imagination in them when they get into a kid's space to help them think about God. And so we want to have more creative and more updated kid spaces for them, plus doing those things to let our community know through curb appeal and some marketing and whatnot that we're here. And so we're really excited about that, and you can still give to that today. I know many of you have made pledges that you're following up on and whatnot. So we're going to get that. We're going to get to our goal.
Yeah. And what are some important dates with relaunch, things coming up that they should be aware of?
Oh yeah, you're putting me on the spot a little bit. Some important dates. In February, let's step back. In January, January 26th will be our final service as East Point Church. So let's bring a little clarity to this. Our final service as East Point will be January 26th, and we want anybody and everybody. If you have friends that used to come here, invite them. Join them. Let's celebrate 23 years of ministry as East Point Church, and we really kind of want to book in that well. Because the truth is, we know that Imagine Church is just really building on the shoulders of so many of you who have sacrificially made this happen for two decades.
Yeah.
And so January 26th will be our final service, and then what we're doing is we're still going to have gatherings on Sunday. This is a little bit of the confusing part. We're still going to have gatherings on Sunday, but in February, we're going to do, February 1st is a Sunday, and we're going to do something we call 28 days of prayer. And so February is 28 days long, so we're taking the month of February to be intentional to pray. And we're going to learn from 28 different prayers that are in the Bible and develop a prayer life together as a church for what's next, for our own families, for us as individuals, for our communities, and for our church, of what God is leading us into in the new year and the relaunch. Mm-hmm. And so that's going to happen in February. And then the plan right now is March 8th will be our first, our grand opening, of Imagine Church on March 8th. And so that's, that's definitely gonna be something to invite your friends to, invite your neighbors to, and family to, as we kick off and reintroduce ourselves to the community. So those are some dates that you're not gonna wanna miss.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited about what's ahead for Imagine Church and for our church, but I also wanted to celebrate what just happened. We had a group season just wrap up on December 10th, and we had a celebration on the 17th, and that was Rooted.
Yeah.
If you've been a part of East Point for a while, you may have gone through Rooted in the past. It used to be kind of a regular thing that we would do around here, but it hasn't been done in a while, and I felt like we needed to bring it back for a season.
Yeah.
And so we had 72 people go through Rooted this season, which is incredible. And there were next steps taken by every single person over this season. There were serve projects that happened, and there was a prayer night where some people prayed for 30 minutes for the first time ever,
Wow.
which is really exciting for me. But it was just an incredible time. And if you were part of Rooted, I've read your surveys and read the feedback, the things that were really important to you, and it just, I don't know, I think that's an area for me right now where I can see God is at work.
Yeah.
He's at work in our church and in every individual's life and walk.
Yeah.
And so it's just really encouraging.
Yeah. I thought it was so helpful. I think there's a level that it kind of like, I know not everyone was part of it in the church, but like it brought a lot of unity to like get everyone here in the building on a Wednesday night with the intention of saying like, I'm going to meet with others and I'm going to meet with God.
Yeah.
And it was just different than the Sunday experience through small group experience and whatnot, and just seeing the people take the steps. And that last night where you see like the signs or where it shows kind of people's transformation over the 10 weeks is super cool. In fact, I think we'll put some pictures right here in the video where you can see that.
Yeah.
But so 72 people were in it, people took next steps, and I know part of it is we get to hear from them a little bit too. And so I know they did a survey, and we wanted to share a few of the things that people said about Rooted. And again, Rooted is part of our group strategy, that we did. And this happens a lot in a number of ways through different groups, but specifically, these are some of the things that were said coming out of Rooted. You want to share those with us?
Yeah, so this first one is one of my favorites. I loved all of the responses, and I wish I could read all of them, but this first one is really good. They said, I now have friends. I feel more at home at church. I have people to sit with who actually know me deeply, and I know them. And I just felt really encouraged by that, because it's good to be known and to know people and feel like you belong in your church.
Yeah. I love the part, I have people to sit with.
Yeah.
Because I mean, some people like to kind of sneak in, sneak out of church, don't really want someone to talk to them. But a lot of us, we're looking for a place of that belonging and wanting to feel like we're kind of like with our people. And so that's what that group experience, like to provide that friendship. Like I go now and I see my people and I have people to sit with. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. You want to read the second one?
This group truly strengthened and tested my faith in ways I never thought possible. Such a blessing to be part of such a wonderful experience and community.
And this third one says, I appreciated how it helped me instill good habits in my day-to-day life through accountability from a group.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And Rooted really was stretching for people because there was homework associated with it, but it helped create rhythms in your life to be kind of like what we talked about at the core, focused on Jesus throughout, and kind of eliminate some of that drift that we have in our day-to-day.
Yeah. Yeah, it helps keep you going in a certain direction. Okay, we want to be able to look at just a few things, some practical things that are coming up that we want to be on the same page about. One of them is, we just talked about Rooted, we have another group season. We do 3 group seasons a year, so we kind of have some on-ramps and off-ramps. And a lot of groups will just continue meeting throughout the year, and some of them are closed because they're full and whatnot. But with a new group season, we have opportunity for group leaders, and we have opportunity for you to experience community in groups. And so we are looking for, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're looking for more people to say, I want to create spaces and places where people can be connected, and you are willing to lead and host a group this next season. And Rachel's a great person to talk to because she'll help you get connected with those details. And it's probably easier than you even think, especially if they do a message-based group.
Yes, that's one of my favorite types of groups that we do here.
It's pretty organic. There's message questions on the back of your program, or on the back of your message notes that are inside the program each week. So it just kind of helps you have something to talk about as you gather together that will be helpful and fruitful for your life. So we'd love some leaders to help sign up. We'd love also for you to say, I'm going to take the step. I don't want to miss out like I did maybe this last season. I don't want to miss out this season. So I'm going to take the step to be involved in a community and get into a group this season. And heck, it's like a 10 or 12 week commitment. So worst case scenario is like you don't love the group that you were in and you try a new one in the next summer season.
Right.
It's a low risk, high reward type of commitment. So
Yeah, for sure.
we're excited about that. Okay, one of the big things that we wanted you to know during this video is every year, this time of year, we talk about what we call Dream Teamer of the Year. And the truth is, so many of you make a difference in so many ways. And we wish we could pick all of you, but we can't, okay? Not everybody gets a trophy here. But we pick one person, or last year it was a couple, right? It was Mike and Corey last year, that we say, hey, this person goes above and beyond in so many ways. We just see the way that they selflessly give and sacrifice to make different things happen. And so we want to announce to you our Dream Teamer of the Year for 2025. And we are thrilled to announce that it is
Vicki Arnold.
Let's go, Vicki. Let's go. Vicki Arnold. She does so many things around here. Like,
Yeah.
and you, if you don't know Vicki, you should, because not only is she awesome, I know last year I had the chance to go on a mission trip with her and get to know her better. I got to know her husband Frank more, but she does so much around here behind the scenes. She comes in on Thursdays. She cleans the kitchen area. She preps coffee things so you can have warm or hot coffee on Sundays. She stuffs your program a lot of times.
She has laundry.
She does laundry, cleans the tablecloths, so many things. She's basically just makes herself available and says, how can I help? And Vicki, we love you for so many ways that you give and you help make a difference around here. In fact, Vicki serves on our First Impressions team, and Holly is the one who leads that team. And so Holly just made a special video for you, Vicki. So go ahead and watch this.
Hey East Point, I am so thrilled that Vicki Arnold is our Dream Teamer of the Year. She does so much for our church and most of it is behind the scenes. Vicki, you are so deserving. Thank you so much for everything you do for us. This place would truly not run without you. Congratulations and check your porch.
Another thing that's coming up is Youth Winter Camp. Sign-ups are in full swing right now, and if you have a teenage student, middle school, high school, or you know one, or there's one that lives down the block from you, make sure they know about camp. We do have scholarships available. I think back to summer camp, actually. Summer camp, we took 28 students to middle school and high school camp, and they had a phenomenal experience. I mean, they have so much fun at camp, and the memories that you make at camp are like nothing else.
Right.
But even more the memories you make with friends, like the connection that you build with God through a unique experience like camp. I mean, for me personally, it shaped my life. It changed. I remember the first winter camp I ever went to was in 9th grade, and it changed my life. I mean, I'm a pastor today. I guarantee it because of
camp. Yeah, and it was out of summer camp last year that we saw all of those students take a step to get baptized. There's so much value in sending kids to camp, winter and summer camp.
Yeah. So we'd love for you to get them signed up. You can do that through our events page or on the app. And then finally, the series we're going to lead into and start the year with is a series that we're calling Mind Games. And it's really this idea that the battle is often won and lost in the mind, right? And what can we do together as a church, but also as individuals, if we will let God transform the way we think, and if we can take our thoughts captive. And so I know so many times we talk about like New Year's resolutions and different things, but it's sometimes we focus so much on behavior modification that we forget that it's the way our mind is, the way we think. It's our mindset that often impacts our behaviors the most. And so we try to change our behavior without getting to the root of it, of what's going on in our head and in our thought life. And so you are not going to want to miss this series that starts January 4th as we kick off the new year. I think it's going to be so helpful for us in this season as we move forward towards that relaunch and whatnot, that we get our minds right and we all collectively focus more on Christ. And so we're excited about what's to come. I love looking back and just seeing what God has done. And thank you so much for so many of the memories that are here that we share in this place because of you, because of the way you give, the way you serve, the way you love, the way you open up this place for people to find and follow Jesus. So let's keep doing that. Let's keep being a safe place for you, your friends, your neighbors, coworkers, for everyone to find and follow Jesus. So happy New Year, and we'll see you on January 4th.